Hey everyone, as you see in the last video, we discussed about workspaces and notebooks, and today we will be discussing about the data storage in Databricks, which is specifically corresponds to catalog. Firstly, we'll discuss about the how the data is managed in Databricks through a whiteboard. So initially, there was Hive Metastore, which has been a legacy now in the Databricks. So in here, the data was getting managed through based on tables under the schema. Both data and metadata is managed here. But now this has been a legacy, and now recently Unity Catalog has been introduced. So in here, uh, there will be different catalogs for the schema that will be helpful in grouping the schemas together. So you'll be having catalog dot schema dot table. So this will be the structure for going forward for the catalog. And wherever you see, if at all you see Hive Metastore in the community edition of Databricks, so that will be a legacy thing. Okay. And the Databricks, which where and all it is integrated with respect to cloud platform, it will be either based on standard tier or premier tier. That will be everything will be updated to Unity Catalog soon forward. So, as I said, catalog is the primary unit of data organization in Databricks Unity. Uh, then catalogs are the first layer in Unity catalogs, three level namespace, which I just now said you. And we have primarily a standard catalog and foreign catalog. These are the types. And default catalog in the community edition is like Hive Metastore itself. But for the going on, when it is integrated to cloud, the default will be Unity catalog. So if at all, if you want to see the structure, so firstly the Metastore, under that the catalog, and then the schema, and then the table and views. So even the volumes are here and the functions are maintained under catalog. Okay, this is the overall structure of the catalog. And when it comes to storage credential, external location, service credential, these are the some security aspects which we will be discussing sooner or the later in the PySpark playlist. So let's get into the database workspace. As I was saying, you can access the recent notebooks through recent space, and one thing I observed which I did not discuss is about the search tab. As the name specifies, like searching the workspace thing, like you can search whatever things you have in the workspace. Let's say I will search for dbutil. You can see that this is accessible, or rough work. Rough work is a folder actually, so which you can see that even that is accessible. And let's get back to the recents, or we can go by this way as well. dbutils, yes, can close this. So, as I specified before, if you want to work on the notebook, there should be a cluster running. I am having that cluster running live, that is catalog space, which I created just few minutes before. Uh, this should be there if you want to work in the notebook. And let's get into the notebook which I just opened. So in order to work with DB things, and we will be requiring a package called dbutils, in where we are using FS, that is file system, and ls is used for the listing out what and all folders and content folders we have under the default package, default folder path called dbfs. So this will list out what all the folders structures we have and the modification time and the size of it. So other way around to get this in a uh, tabular structure is like with the help of display function. This can be used. This is like more readable, as you can see. And as I said, in the community edition, uh, it will be Hive Metastore. So that's the reason you are able to see this content. I will run it again. It will be a Hive warehouse in where it will be metadata and data are maintained. If the size is zero or modification time is zero, because like maybe in the community edition they are not providing the data for this, but in the standard tier, premier tier, you would be able to see the data. And there is one default dataset given by Databricks dataset that is called as Databricks dataset. So here you will be having uh, n number of data which you can make use of later part for cleaning and transformations, which is required for the understanding of the concepts. Like here, as you can see, there are around 55 data sets which you can use it for your understanding the data engineering aspects. So here we are having one file which is readily available in the catalog. I will show you the catalog as well soon, which you thereby you will understand more what I am doing. So here we are using Spark to create the data frame the through the file which is uploaded in the catalog, which is in the format of CSV. The data frame is created, and let's see what is there inside the data frame. Inside data frame, there are three records and five columns, which is just like a dummy data, you can think. And if you want to know about dbutil, you can just read it out through dbutils.help, which will help you in understanding what dbutils is. Here, as you can read, this module provides the various utilities for users to interact with the rest of Databricks. Let's say tomorrow you'll be having to task to handle the files in where you are having FS module to use it. And tomorrow you have something to like you have one notebook, you have to call one more notebook, which are notebooks are dependent. So at that time you can use notebook. And tomorrow, let's say you have some username and password that are secrets to maintain, that you can maintain through secrets. And data has to be passed from one notebook to another notebook or something like that. You can use widgets, and you can use widgets for like running the dynamic value and keeping it in the notebook header. That can be done. And so these facilities are there in dbutils. and metadata like those can be maintained through meta. And let's say if you want to get to know more about dbutils.fs, so you just type like your dbutils.fs.help. You would be getting more information about that. So as I said before, a utility for working with file system, most methods in the package can take either a dbfs path or another file system URL. So in generally, in your if you are working in community edition, it will be taking as a dbfs path. Okay. In here you have majorly two things. One is mount and fs utils. Let's say you want to drill down. Like let's say you have ls here. What is ls? I said you like list of the contents of the directory. It will list out the contents of the directory. But you want to know more about it, and you just have to type the same command dbutils fs.help. Include the thing like what you want to know, like which method you want to know, and just click on Shift Enter. You would be able to know what is the purpose of that ls method. Likewise, you can check with other things as well. dbutils.data.help. So moving on with, let's create a sample data frame. Data and calls spark.create data frame is the command, and which we click enter, shift enter. So since here you have the data, as I said, data is provides utility for understanding, interpreting data sets. So, so in order to interpret the data, we created one data frame. So in order to interpret it, so dbutils.data.summarize df, you would be getting the following interpretation about the data. Like count is 3 and mean is 2, standard deviation uh, for the data, those things you would be getting. And these numerical features are applicable only for the data type which you have int over here. Okay, this is based on the ID column, you can think. And moving on with, uh, I would be showing you how the data is stored. So as I said, like a cluster should be up when you are trying to access the notebook. So since the cluster is up, our catalog database tables is live. So since we haven't created any table, that it is showing as no table. And one more thing, if you want, the database tables are stored in the cluster itself. So if you want to create some tables and all, even the cluster is an essential part to be created. And DBFS, which I was speaking about, it is a Databricks file system in where data is managed and stored. Here you can see like various folders are available in where you can store the data. This is I created few of the folders here to store the data and segregate the data. So this will be the path where you will be storing the data. And you have one more option, that is to upload the data which is necessary. And the default path is the dbfs colon slash file store will be the default path. You will be having an option to select. So either to select it from here, like select from the folder, or you can just come back and drop it from the from your local system. So this is about the upload functionality and catalog things and the Databricks workspace. So this was it about the Databricks catalog and other features, how you can manage the data through dbutils package, and the file system which can be handy to make use of it when you are using the data or managing the data or creating the data during the data engineering task. So thank you so much. We'll be continuing with one more or few more episodes in continuation of understanding Databricks. Thank you so much.